Jackson, I see this every day. I see these people who waited till the last minute because every dime that they have, that they go to work for and they earn every single day, it doesn't go for health care. Health care is the last thing that they will spend their money on because they have to pay the light bills, they have to put food on the table, they have to pay the rent. So, a lot of times we see these patients who come in through the emergency room, they're sick. They've gotten to the point where they need a surgery. And, for those of you who don't know, it costs 5 times more to treat somebody in the emergency room than it does if we could provide them primary health care. We see patients that, instead of amputating the leg when it gets so gangrenous from their diabetes, we could give them a shot of insulin, we could give them a pill every single day for pennies on the dollar of what it would cost to have a life-saving surgery. And I can also tell you, even when I have patients in the hospital, sometimes they're begging for us to take out the breathing tube just because they're worried about how much is this going to cost me. So as you can tell, it's a priority for people. People don't choose to be sick. If you know anybody, I can tell you I talk to people all the time as my patients. They would really love to be able to pay their health care if they only had the money to be able to do it. But, there's a misconception that, and I think you probably saw it when you were up in Tallahassee, a lot of people think that if you don't make a lot of money and you can't afford health care, well then so be it, you just don't deserve it. So, but as we know, health care, if we're all healthy, we're a more productive society. We can help each other. And I can guarantee you, like somebody, like everybody said before, somebody who's in this boat. And I would, venture to say that some of us are not very far away. God forbid we should lose our job tomorrow and we use up all the money we have in the bank, to pay the roof over our head for our kids. Boom, bam, there we are, several months down the line. We don't have any health care. And what do we need? We get sick and we're going to need to go to the doctor if we're unfortunate, that we have those health problems. So, I want to clear up the misconception that, if you're poor, health care, it doesn't matter to you. You should have taken care of your health, you should have got a good job, you should have paid for your health care. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. I have patients that get up every morning, they go to work, but they're working on one of those part-time jobs where some venture capitalist has decided that he's going to turn everybody to part-time so that he doesn't have to pay a good wage, he doesn't have to pay benefits, and by golly, he's not going to pay for your health care. But he wants you to get up every day and come there, clock in on time, and he wants you to be healthy, while you're there. So Jackson sees 70% of their patients come through the emergency room. 30% of those patients are uninsured. So, out of that $52 billion that's going to come down from the federal government, we stand to lose $31 million just in 1 year. And by golly, what we could do with that money. If it didn't have to go to Jackson, it could go to some of the other services in the county, because it's all going to get spread around eventually. So, I thank you all very much. Like these people have set up here behind me, we can keep the pressure on. It's something that we need to do because it's, as Obama said, it's a right. It's a right that we have here in this country. We don't choose to be sick. We would really all choose to be healthy. So let's keep the pressure on. The resources are out there. The calls can be made. And I really think that if we can, if we keep the passion there, we're going to be able to do this because it is the right thing to do.